Alright, we should be live. Yay! Another day, another stream. Let's wait for some people to come in here. Alright. Hey everyone, how's it going? We're just waiting for some people to get in here, so for you guys on YouTube, just chill a while. Stream's about to start. Yeah, welcome! First person in here. We're just waiting for a couple more people to get in here and we'll start with the questions, with the answers, just getting set up, looking that everything's good. I hope the audio is fine today. I hope you can hear me well. Hey everyone, just waiting for some more people to get in here. If you have any questions already, feel free to post them down below, I'll get right to them. We're just waiting another minute or two for some people to get in here. I hope the audio is good this time around. I double checked beforehand. And yeah, then we'll start very soon here. How are you guys doing? Everyone doing okay? It's incredibly hot here in Germany where I'm, and especially humid. It's like tropics, it sucks. I really don't do too well with that. Who's in here? Let me know. There's 3 people watching. Who am I talking to? Say hello. Let me know. Post your questions if you have any. This is a Q&A stream, so I'm here for you guys. Whatever you guys want to know, that's what we'll talk about. And if you don't have anything, then this is just going to be a pretty chill stream. For those of you watching on YouTube later on, maybe, get in here. These are live questions. Every Sunday, 7 p.m. CEST time. I'm here for you guys. For whatever questions you have, whatever you want to talk about, maybe even the weather, let me know. There's 3 people lurking about right now. Get your questions in, guys. Right now, there's still not many people joining the stream, so you're free to go. Post your questions, let me know. What do you guys want me to talk about today? We'll wait another like 30 seconds here or so, another minute maybe, and then I'll just get into some things. Well, maybe I'll just start us off here until some more people get in here if no one has anything. questions? Everyone happy with their life? Everything going okay? Alright. Then I guess it's my turn to start with something. Let me turn on here. I'm sorry if this fan is a bit loud, but otherwise I'm going to be sweating balls here. It's too humid right now here in Germany. I hope it's not too much of a bother for everyone here. So what are we going to talk about today? Let's talk about unconditional love and maybe conditional love until some people get in here. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll get right to them. But what I want to talk about a bit in regards to conditional and unconditional love is just being yourself. You don't have to fake to be anyone else. I mean, we go through life always putting on these different masks and these different personalities. You're a student one time, and then you're a teacher, a son, a daughter, husband, a father, and depending on what mask you wear, you act in a different way. But most of that is not because you choose to do that, it's because others force this on you. It's because it's expected from you. When you're in school, it's expected that you're a good student. It's expected that you don't laugh, that you don't disrupt the class, that you pay attention and sit still and don't do anything. And with all of these expectations, you start losing yourself. You start losing what you really want to do. And you just try to chase all of these different ideals, these different masks, these different personalities or different personas you adopt. And by the time you're 18, 19, 20 years old, you don't even know who you are anymore. You're a collection of different individual personas, but the person behind those masks, the person behind all of this, who knows who they are. And then you're supposed to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life, make decisions on college, make decisions what to study, start a family, and do all of these crazy things. Good luck with that. The point to all of this is that it's not coming from you. It's coming from the outside, from everyone else, from the people, the environment, your parents that condition you to be this way. I want you to start looking more at what you want to do, in complete disregard to what anyone says. Who cares? Who cares if your school says one thing? Who cares if your parents say another thing? Who cares if your friends say another thing altogether? Or if they tell you to stop, or to keep going, or to do something. It's not about them. It's about you. It's about you deciding what you want to do with your life. Because at the end of it, when you're dying, the only one you have to justify your life, the only one that you have to convince that this was a life worth living, is you. So start making some choices on your own. Stop trying to pretend someone you're not. Laugh at the stupid jokes that you find funny. Go for what it is you want to go for. Work on the things you want to work on. Study the things you want to study. Improve the skills you want to improve. Read whatever you want to read. Be a little weird in class. Be a little giddy. Be excited when your food comes. Whatever comes to your mind. When we were kids, none of us cared even a single bit about what anyone else thought. We would run down the street screaming in joy. We would wrestle in the mud. We would play pretend in the weirdest ways possible, and we wouldn't give a single care in the world. And the only thing that changed was that you started to adopt the expectations that others have of you. You started to work for the love, work for the affection, and work for the attention of others. You always worked for others to get something back. It wasn't because you chose to do it. If you want to really get back into that, I highly recommend that you start taking a day off and then just do whatever you want to do. and I would avoid your usual habits. So maybe turn off the TV, turn off the computer, and just sit there for a while and think about what it really is that you would like to do right now. Gets a bit difficult, it's not the easiest thing to do, but once you get more into the habit of that, you allow yourself to be who you are. And once you do that, then there's not so much stress coming on because you don't have to pretend to be someone else. You get to be totally you. And that allows you to be happier because you get to do what you want. You allow yourself to, you don't have so much pressure on yourself, not so much stress. And it just makes you more confident, more happy in being who you are. That's my first 2 cents to kickstart off the stream, maybe. How about you guys? What questions do you have? What do you want me to talk about? There's 3 people in here right now, and I know some of you are lurking. Just send me stuff. How are you guys doing? Where are you from? What would you like to know? Otherwise, I'm going to go on here a bit about the things that I want to talk about. But I would rather answer your questions right now because this is a Q&A live stream for you. So for whoever is in here, let me know. Ask away. Alright, while we wait for a couple questions here. I'm currently working really hard on a course for you guys. It's going to come out sometime this July, probably mid to end July 2017. And there's going to be a link on there for that on my Quora profile. I'll let you guys know though on the live stream and on the videos once the course is out for you guys. It'll be very cheap. I want this to be a course that everyone can afford. I won't spoil the topic yet. You'll just have to see once it's finished. But look forward to that. It's going to be a really great course. I'm working most days on that really hard to make something great for you guys. Other than that, talking about my book, my editor, so that's coming out soon for you guys to enjoy as well. And then other than that, you can find us on Quora and YouTube and on these live streams here. A little bit of self-promotion there for this stuff for you guys. Alright. Since we don't have any questions, since everyone is so happy today, let's just talk about a couple other things here. A lot of people get into this habit of becoming self-improvement junkies, becoming personal development addicts. You always want to achieve more and more and more and more and more and grow constantly and at a high rate, and everything needs to go perfect, everything needs to go right, and you can't waste a single second, you can't waste a single minute on anything. And that is fine at a baseline, but it's different depending on why you do this. Why do you have to achieve so much? Why do you have to learn so much? Why do you have to improve so much? Why does your life always have to keep going forward? I'm not saying that it's bad that you're working hard and that you're getting somewhere, but look at why you're doing this. Are you doing this to get something out of it? Maybe to get affection. Maybe because you think once you've reached a high level of success, you'll finally be happy. Or maybe because eventually you think that this way you'll find love. Are you doing it because you're missing something, and are you working out of scarcity rather than abundance? Or are you working out of this abundance mentality, that you're really happy where you are, that you feel like you already have everything you want, but that you could always do more, so why not? That you're working just because you choose to, not because you have to. Why are you stressing so much? And the reason why I'm mentioning this to you guys is because I get a lot of these questions on Quora. And the most annoying ones are people asking me when you should stand up. It's a very simple question, but how the hell should I know? Look, if you stand up at 4 a.m. or if you stand up at 4 p.m., it doesn't really matter. you can get done what you need to get done regardless of when you stand up. It's all of these self-improvement gurus, these personal development experts that tell you you have to wake up early. And yes, waking up early is a huge benefit. When you wake up early, you get out of your routine and you do something new. That gets you out of your comfort zone and makes you realize that you can work whenever you want to. But that's not dependent on when you wake up. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that you get done what you said you would. That's it. Now, if you get up at 4 p.m., work until, 10 in the morning, and then sleep 6 hours, but you get everything done until 10 in the morning, great. Then why not sleep until 4 p.m.? Try to not chase every single point and every single tip some of these gurus and experts throw out there, because they may not work for you, and that's not what's important. Don't try to be so high and mighty. Don't try to achieve every single thing. Don't try to make your entire setting and situation perfect before you do anything. Instead, just get done what needs to get done, regardless of when you wake up, regardless of how many things are in your favor and how many things are standing against you. Just get the stuff done that you know you have to get done. Focus on the most important things and leave the rest out. It doesn't matter when you get up in the morning. It doesn't really matter how healthy you are. It doesn't matter if you work out that much. Of course, it's a huge benefit. No one argued that. But that's not what's going to make or break your life. Okay, maybe if you only eat cake or only eat fast food every day, you should be a bit healthier. But for most of us, we're pretty okay, and we just need to do more work and do the right amount of work. You don't always have to play so hard. You can also play very smart. Okay? Quality of your voice is very poor. How about now? Is this better? I turned on the fan there, which may have been a bit of an issue, but that's just because I'm going to sweat a lot here otherwise. Hopefully this is better though. I'm hoping you guys can understand me a bit better. Sorry for that. How is it in here? Is it good? And welcome to the stream. Let me know if you guys have any questions or if you just want me to ramble on about whatever comes to my mind. Other than that, just ask away. I'm here for you guys. Okay, if there's no questions, if there's no concerns, if there's no comments, then I'll just keep rambling on for a bit. So where did I just stop? Right. All of these tips, all of these things that these gurus tell you, all of this advice you're given every single day about how to improve, how to be a better person, how to personally develop yourself, that's all fine and dandy. There's nothing wrong with that, and you can take all of these advices, sure. But that doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to make or break it for you. Just because you follow everything that all of these successful people tell you to do, doesn't mean you will reach success. Because you could focus on every single little thing and leave out all the big stuff. If you're a student, and you wake up in the morning, you work out, you eat healthy, you plan your days, and you do everything possible, and then you spend 12 hours on all of that, and you only spend an hour on studying, you're not going to be a very good student. On the other hand, if you wake up at 11 in the morning, if you don't eat that healthy, if you don't work out that often, but you study for 8 hours a day, you're probably going to get more done. Now, the bottom line with this is that there's a nice balance. There's a mixture. It's not that black and white. Don't follow all the advices, but don't ignore all of them either. There's a reason they worked for these people. There's a reason this is going good. But focus on the most important things you have to do. Not all this random bullshit other stuff. If your life is falling apart, then who cares when you get up in the morning? If you're in debt, then who cares if you eat a pizza every single day? Of course it's not healthy, but so what? You have more pressing issues. Get those fixed first. Work on the stuff that's most important first, instead of getting so hyped up over another new tip that could improve your life, another new tip that will guarantee success, another thing that all successful people have that you should start to develop. That's bullshit. You can live endlessly long, learn endlessly all of these tips. You can always get more info. But unless you really do something, and unless you do the stuff that matters, your life isn't going to move ahead. I want you to recognize that. I want you to think about that. I want you to stop trying so hard to find the easy fix. And just do what you need to get done. Do what works for you and ignore the rest. If you're incredibly tired at 5 a.m. and if you don't get anything done in the morning, then stop waking up at 5 a.m. On the other hand, if you wake up at 10 in the morning and you don't get anything done and your entire day is shit afterwards, then stop waking up at 10 in the morning. You need to check what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Because what works for these successful people, what works for me, what works for other self-improvement gurus, is not necessarily the same thing that works for you. And just because they say that was the one thing that achieved them success, does not mean that it will work for you. You need to take up the responsibility, you need to plan your own life, and you need to check whether or not this works for you. Alright, who's in here? We have 3 people in here. Come on, guys. I don't want to talk all this by myself. It's just like me making another long video. What's going on? Where are you people? Where are you from? How are you? What questions do you have? It's fun and dandy talking about myself and all, but I wanted to do this for you guys. So let me know. Ask away. $358 orc from Israel. Welcome back. You were here last week too. Thanks for being back in the stream. If Amir is still here, where are you from? And 358 orc. What questions do you have? I know we talked about it last week. I think I got a couple of your questions answered. But what would you like me to talk about? Since no one else is talking in the chat, we're kind of doing a one-on-one session here for now. Otherwise, this is just going to be a bit of a shorter stream today. Alright, I'll give you guys about another 5 minutes, and if no one has any questions, then I'll sign off for today. Expectations. Okay? expectations. Alright, so often we throw our expectations on other people. We expect everyone else to give us the solution. We hardly ever work for... I don't want to take this. We hardly ever take responsibility ourselves. We expect everyone else to look out for us because we're looking out for ourselves. Think about it this way. You're in a movie theater and you're watching a new movie you've never seen before. The main character in this movie is you. Now, you expect that everyone else in this movie theater is seeing the exact same picture you are. That they also think that that person, the main character, is the same main character you see. And that everyone cares as much for them as you do. That they care as much about you as you care about yourself. But the truth is that they're all looking at someone else. They're looking at another character. They're not looking at you. But yet you still go around expecting that everyone is the same as you. That everyone has the same ideals, the same beliefs, the same way they go through life. That you're expecting that you're right, that they're wrong, that you can learn, and that when you learn, others learn as well. This is done because you basically stereotype to make it easier for yourself. And you're expecting everyone to be like you. You're expecting everyone to have these same kind of beliefs because it's very difficult to think about every single person and realize that every single person is super different than you are, that they're so vastly different, and that they also have different expectations. Now, normally, this is not a big problem. But in relationships, in one-on-one relationships, this gets to be a huge deal. What happens in those relationships is that you expect your partner, for example, to do the dishes in a certain way. And your partner expects you to do them in a different way. Now, you may not clash because of the dishes, but you don't like it either. And then, after a couple of these small things, it boils up. And then your expectations are never met, because you never talk about it with the other person. The key here is that you do not do this with yourself either. You expect yourself to do certain things. You expect yourself to wake up early in the morning. You expect yourself to work hard. You expect yourself to find something you're passionate about. But you never talk it through with yourself. You never say, you never talk to yourself and say, this is what I'm expecting. These are the necessary things I need from myself. This is what I'm expecting myself to do. This is what I want to get out of it. So this is what I'm going to do. You just expect it. But then when it doesn't work, you don't change anything. You just keep on expecting. And this is the same thing you do with your partner. It's the same thing you do with your friends. It's the same thing you do with your family. You expect everyone to do a certain amount of things or certain things in a certain way because you do them that way and you think that's important. But that means in no way that anyone else thinks that's important. And when you expect something from yourself and don't do it, then you need to talk to yourself about that. You need to figure out why you're not doing this. You need to look at yourself and say, hey, I didn't get this done. I didn't meet my expectations. I didn't work as hard. I didn't get up early in the morning. Why not? What was the problem? What was the issue? What was the difficulty there? What happened? And look at the facts and be honest. There's expectations there or not, either you did it or you didn't do it. I hope that's sort of what you were asking for, 358 org. It's a bit hard to just go from one word, but I hope that gave you a bit of an idea about expectations. I tried to take this two different ways. If you have any more on that topic, just feel free to ask. Gonna wait here for a second, but opening the floor up for, I guess, some final questions here, because if no one has any, then I'm gonna get off and call it a shorter stream for today and get working on some other things here. Give you guys a minute because I know the stream is lagging a bit behind, and I know you guys still need to write some stuff. Okay, then I guess that's it from me for today. I'm sorry about the shorter stream. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment them below. I think starting next week, I'll do a bit more directed streams, because we're still not getting that many people in here. All of these Q&A streams are not that well visited, and I'm just gonna go basically give you a live video and talk about one thing in advance, and we'll try that out for size. Okay? Then hopefully I'll see you guys next week, and until then, have a great week, everyone. Bye bye.